podcast.
Me somehow.
All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Snowcast Sports Talk, episode 3. As we can see here today, have a couple guests with me. I have my two brothers, John and Matthew, joining me. This is kind of an off episode where the past couple of episodes I've done, guys, have been very Giants related. This is going to be kind of bouncing around the whole NFL. As you can tell, my brothers do not share the Giants' passion with me. They are either rooted in a team like my brother Matthew or rooted in a player like my brother John, who has many different Cam jerseys. But John and Matt, I appreciate you guys coming here. This is going to be a ton of fun. We talked about before, introductions. Let's just jump into the topics. For anyone who follows the NFL, guys, there's been a bunch of craziness going on this week in the NFL, like absolutely insane stuff. So let's start with the biggest, most recent news. Deshaun Watson got traded to the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to give a little bit of background to this for John and Matthew and for the audience, and then we'll get into the details and kind of our opinions. So the way Deshaun had his contract set up, guys, is he had a no-trade clause. And for anyone who doesn't know how that works, basically, if you have a no-trade clause, you get to pick where you go if your team trades you. So for example, Russell Wilson, he got to pick the Denver Broncos as the team he wanted to go to. So Deshaun, very much kind of like a Bachelor episode, kind of had roses to give out to each of these teams. And the 4 teams that were competing for him were the Cleveland Browns, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Falcons. Those were the 4 teams. And so if you follow Adam Schefter on Instagram, he said over the past 2 days, the Panthers didn't get a rose and the Browns didn't get a rose. But somehow the Browns just kept fighting for him and gave him a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract for him to go there, and he decided to go to the Cleveland Browns. So yeah, I'll open it up. Guys, what were your reactions to this?
You can go first, Brian.
Surprise?
Not surprised. No, not. Well, I think 2 big things. Number one, of all the teams he was thinking about going to, I always forget the guy's name, but who's the coach on the Browns?
Stefanski.
Yeah, he's the only one who'll bring a team to a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, no doubt, in my opinion. I don't think, of all the teams you just listed, the Browns and him have the only chance of going to a Super Bowl. I don't think the others do at all.
I love that point, John. I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to drive that point home. The Falcons don't have really anyone in their rebuilding team. The Saints lost Peyton, their coach,
Sean,
and then the Panthers have always and the Panthers have always been rough. So
and they have to keep Cam anyway. So I'm just joking. And number 2, what division the Browns in? Which one's that again?
They're in the AFC North. So they play the Steelers, the Browns, and the Steelers, Bengals, and Ravens, and the Browns.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about the AFC North.
Woo!
They're dirty. They're the dirtiest division in the league. You're gonna send the dirtiest quarterback to one division? There's no surprise there. And they all know it. They all know it. Don't forget, this is where Antonio Brown came from. Like, they all know what they do. And Stefanski and the Browns are gonna just use him the way he needs to. All the other teams would have tried to change him. They're just gonna let him rip. And honestly, it seems like it's gonna be a good match.
I agree. The Browns are a win now team. And then I'll let Matthew go. But Deshaun said when he wanted to be traded, he wanted to go to a team that was competitive with a good offensive line. And the 2 best O-lines in the NFL, in my opinion, it's between the Colts, the Browns, and the Bucs. Those are the 3 best offensive lines I can think of. So good for him for going to the Browns. But Matthew, what was your reaction?
I don't get it from the Browns' point of view. I don't think Baker's the worst part of that team. I don't think Baker's the big reason on why they're failing a lot, and I still feel like he still has a lot to prove and a lot to say with the Browns. And I'm kind of sad they just gave up on him. And they did run him for 3 years, 4 years?
He was going into his 5th year.
Going into his 5th year, so yeah, 4 years. I don't know. He had a bunch of injuries and dealt with a lot of issues last season, so I feel like it's a bit explained on why he was so bad and why the Browns were so bad. And I still feel like you could give him more chances. And I just don't know about Deshaun Watson just because, in the 2020 season, he had the most passing yards, right? Was that something I read somewhere?
Deshaun, that's a good point. So Deshaun didn't play at all last year, so you have to remember he's a year removed, too.
Yeah.
Which, some players that benefits, like Rob Gronkowski took a year off, and I felt like he came back better. For John, being a Bucs fan, he would know, like, Rob, when he came back, he was explosive. But then some players, when they take a year off and come back. It took him half
a season, though. It took him half a season. He did a lot of blocking at the beginning of that 2020 season.
But Matthew, Deshaun didn't play at all last year. But the year before, he took a 4-12 team, and he had the most passing yards and was like second for touchdowns. Like, he had an amazing year. But you have to remember too. You have to remember too, though, with Baker, he wasn't drafted by this Browns GM or this Browns coach. Baker's been there for a while. And he's played with a bunch of different head coaches and GMs, so they really owe him no loyalty, But keep going.
That's fair. That's a fair point. I get it from Deshaun Watson's point of view. I feel like if I was the Atlanta Falcons, I'm just sitting here smacking myself like, how did we fuck it up again, guys? How did we do it again? Like, I think they didn't even pay Matt Ryan until like this coming Tuesday just to see if they were going to get Deshaun Watson. And now I think they're just going to keep with Matt Ryan, which I don't think is the best idea.
Totally. I saw a tweet that said, wow, the Falcons messed it up in the fourth quarter again, or they blew a lead again.
Yeah, they did it again.
It's the offseason.
I would say Matt Ryan with the Falcons is not their issue either, though. He balls out. Like, you can go look. I think last year or the year before, all of the games lost were the fourth quarter by less than a touchdown. Like, he balls out. It's the defense who can never stop.
And it's the team.
This isn't about Ryan. This isn't about Matt Ryan, and I would love Matt Ryan to move teams, but I'm just sad because I liked Baker on the Browns. I liked that whole dynamic in that team.
Too.
I guess I wasn't realizing they switched coaches a bunch of times because I'm newly into football, learning all this stuff still. And so I get it from Deshaun Watson's point of view. I don't like it from the Browns' point of view.
Yeah, I think with the Browns, though, I think it's actually the best move for the Browns. So you got to remember, for both of you guys, teams leverage their future when they're getting these quarterbacks. So the Browns are saying, hey, the next 3 years, we're not going to have a first-round pick, but we believe in our team now, and with just the right quarterback, we can kind of get over the hump. I think what the Browns had to look at, though, and John's going to love this, sleeping dog Joe Burrow is now going to play them twice a year. And I think there's a very harsh reality that Baker Mayfield's a very good quarterback, in my opinion, but he needs to have a lot around him to be successful. Deshaun can do a lot with nothing, and that might be what the Browns are looking at. The Browns are like, shit, we got to play Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow 4 times a year. We need a quarterback that can put up and play better than them.
Hey, I think you're discrediting Baker a little bit.
Matt, I don't know how much Joe Burrow you watched last year.
No, I did. I did watch a lot of Burrow. I'm no way am I saying
himself.
I think Joe Burrow and the Ravens quarterback Lamar are both better than Baker. I think Baker can put up good fights and if not beat both of those teams on a good day.
Look at Baker 2 years ago, man. I mean, he went off, and then remember that playoff game against the Steelers? I agree with you, Matthew. Baker was hurt, but
the playoff game against the Chiefs was only lost by a field goal.
Yeah, Baker.
Maybe the only takeaway from this for me is I'm excited to see where Baker goes. Hopefully he gets to just a better team where he gets the ball out even more. And hopefully the Browns just don't keep him as a backup or something and hold him for longer, because that would suck.
Do you guys, we can move to the next topic here. I don't know if anyone has any other Deshaun points, but the next point was going to be what's going on with Baker. And I have my opinion, so. John, did you want to add anything else to Deshaun, though? Anything?
No, that was pretty much my closing.
I'm happy for the Browns. I think the Browns and Deshaun both got the best possible situation. I think for Deshaun, there was no better team he could go to, and he also got the most guaranteed money in NFL history by about $80 million. And I have to think that's what put the Browns over the other teams, was the Browns said, hey, we'll guarantee every dollar we pay you. So... But, the next topic is where will Baker Mayfield go? And again, I just want to give a little bit. Baker Mayfield was the first overall pick in 2018. He's been with the Browns his whole career. He started off, he actually won their first game in like 230 days when he started. And like Matthew said, the dynamic. Baker was this underdog, pit bull-esque kind of personality. Guy. And the Browns are this underdog, pit bull, Cleveland. Like, it just felt like a match made in heaven. But Baker struggled a lot. They put a lot around Baker. This is what people would say about Baker that I do agree with. He might have the 2 best running backs in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. He might have the best offensive line in the NFL. He had 2 Pro Bowl tight ends in Austin Hooper and Njoku. And then he had Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and Peoples-Jones as his number 1, 2, and 3 wide receiver. And they still couldn't get past like the second team. And then they even had some like rough losses. So I think a lot of Browns fans would say, yeah, we love Baker, but how much do you put around the guy before you're like, holy crap, this is just not going to work? So with that, Baker needs to go to a team that has just as much in place. And there is one team that is looking for a quarterback that Baker would love, that would be a match made in heaven player-wise, but not personality-wise, and that is the Indianapolis Colts. You plug Baker into that team, and it could be lethal. The only disconnection I see is the personality. The Colts are a very cool, calm, and collected team. There's no superstars. There's no big media presence, but they're always a good team. John knows this. I've always been a Colts advocate. Well, Baker's kind of has that big personality, but I think if you put Baker with the Colts, it'd be pretty lethal. But what do you guys think? Where should Baker go?
You got it, Johnny. You can always go first.
Dude, it's got to be the Colts. I think I would be the least excited to see that because it is so predictable. Like, it would be like, oh, cool, that'll be good.
Nothing's been predictable this offseason.
If he managed to, like, find his way on the Saints or something, that would just be wild. It'd be like, what the?
Yeah.
What? So that would be fun, but I like Baker. I think Baker has a good... Dude, he's just got an epic wind-up.
He does, dude. His throw motion is crazy.
Baker's got an epic wind-up. The way he, like, pivots his body and his arm, it's just epic to watch. Yeah, I think he'd be a great fit on the Colts, and that would be my prediction. That'd be my prediction. I think the Saints would be... I'd be way more excited, though. I think it'd be fun to watch him and Brady play...
twice a year
in that division, yeah.
And the Saints, John, the Saints are like the other team. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Saints are a quarterback needy team, but the report is that Jameis Winston is going to be coming back with the Saints.
Yeah, and he had some good games last year. He just is young. He's just gonna have to grow with them.
Yep. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm happy. The Saints are keeping who they had. What did they have? It wasn't Winston.
Jameis. Yeah. Jameis Winston.
Oh, it is
right.
Jameis Winston.
Yep.
Jameis Winston, Jalen Hurts. I mix up those two in my head all the time. Which is funny. Just because of their names.
Dude, I don't know who's better.
Yeah, that is
Jameis.
the question. Yeah, that's a tough one, but I'm happy the Saints are keeping him because I feel like he is a good quarterback and he just keeps getting tossed around.
Yep.
But I mean, Baker to the Colts. Let's go. That sounds like fun.
I love it. I love it. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is the personality type. It just seems like the Colts. Like, can you guys name me 2 players on the Colts?
Jonathan Taylor and
no.
Yep.
Wait.
Jonathan Taylor's a running back.
Yeah.
Oh, I know one more. I know one more.
But the point I'm making is there's no superstars. Like, you can name 5 players on the Rams easy, but that's the thing about the Colts. But the Colts have a dominant offensive line with Quentin Nelson. They have dominant wide receivers with, not Pickett. What's his name? Pittman. But it's just, they're not, like, going to blow you away with their stats, but the team just has such great cohesion together. So it would be a little interesting seeing Baker there, but... I think that's the best option. I think the Saints, and then the other one that gets tossed around, guys, is the Seahawks. You know, them getting rid of Russell Wilson.
They need someone. They're gonna need someone.
Dude, that would be a much more interesting combination. I feel like I don't know. I see that one as much.
See Baker and Metcalf popping off.
Yeah.
Then here's the other question: where does Jimmy G fit into all this? Because he's not going to be with the 49ers.
I've heard a lot of Jimmy G to the Colts, although I think Baker's going to the Colts. I have no idea where Jimmy G is going to go then.
Can I ask you a question? I just want your opinion because the Colts got rid of Carson Wentz because he's a quarterback who makes a lot of dumb throws. I think the only
Commander Carson?
I think the only quarterback who makes more stupid throws is Jimmy.
I mean, see Jimmy going to the Seahawks.
That's true.
Run first team, you know that's the way they like to play.
Jimmy G and DJ Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, DK Metcalf.
It's tough. But then you got to think, there's some quarterbacks in this draft. I know you guys probably haven't heard the name Malik Willis, but he's this quarterback out of Liberty. And he's a stud, man. He's got a lot of raw potential, a lot of Josh Allen or Jameis Winston. I'm like that big gunslinger arm. So
yeah, I'm gonna Google that right now because I did mean to ask you. Are there any huge quarterbacks that people are really excited for entering?
Nope. No.
no quarterbacks this season.
No,
really.
That's why you're having all these trades happen this year, because a year where you have Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Sam Donald. I mean, they were all in the same draft.
Dude, I'll tell you where Jimmy G's got to go. Bucks have to grab him.
Brady be rip shit.
Well, no, but Brady. This will be Brady. We'll get to Brady. This is his last fucking year. Sorry, I know we said we weren't gonna.
You guys each have one. I've docked you each one.
Yeah, this would be his last year, and Jimmy G would just slide in there with that like methodical style, little pass to the running back, like little Chris Godwin pass, little. I mean.
Jimmy, and Jimmy might have to go be a backup somewhere. If the Saints let's say the Saints stick with Winston, let's say the Colts get Mayfield, and let's say the Seahawks draft someone, Jimmy's a backup now.
Jimmy's a backup, and you put him behind Brady, and you say, yeah, you're playing next year, so you'll get some reps in this season. We already know Brady and Garoppolo get along. We already know that the Brady system is something Garoppolo fits into well. Holy shit.
What's tough,
honestly,
though...
I'd be so excited to see that happen. I'd be so excited.
What's tough, though, is we know Brady bumps up against Arians' offensive theology. Yep. Like they have different ideas of what an offense should run like. But, okay, just to get back on track a little bit, yeah, I think Baker to the Colts makes the most sense. Will it happen? John, you just said that it was boring. Has anything in this offseason happened that's been typical or boring? No. I can't think of any move.
Where did Juju Smith-Schuster just go?
The Chiefs.
Oh, that's. I'm not excited about that. Why did that happen?
Well, I think
who decided this?
I think I'm going to add in one more topic, and it's going to be the AFC West. I think we need to talk about that division. But okay, so Baker, we hope you go to the Colts. Good luck to you. We all here, let's all raise our hand. Do we think Baker is a starting quarterback that can go to the playoffs and maybe win a Super Bowl one day? Raise your hand if you believe so. Yeah, okay. We're all on the same page with Baker. I think last year we can all agree Baker had a lot of injuries, and it was just that made his... I mean, John... It was Christmas Day, guys. Me and my brother John. It was one of my favorite memories of 2021 was sitting there and watching the Packers play the Browns, just getting to watch a football game with you. But you remember how bad Baker played? I mean, you and me were like... But he also had an injury that he sustained in week 3 that he played the whole season without. And when the season ended, the day after, he got surgery.
Yeah.
Hey,
Aaron Rodgers played with a broken toe, and he balled out, though.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is his own animal. But okay, either way, Baker, the three of us here at Snowstorm Studios believe in you. And if he goes to the Colts, man, I think that's going to be an awesome combo. That's what I'm rooting for. If Baker goes to the Colts, I'm going to get excited. All right.
Yeah, me too. That sounds cool.
Let's talk about the biggest one. I'm going to stand up here for a sec, just stretch. Whew. Tom Brady, after he lost his playoff game to the Rams, retired. And last week, he decided, after 40 days of retirement, nah, not for me. I'm coming out of retirement. And I want to take a couple minutes here and just explain to you the effect Tom Brady has on a team. John will know this. Maybe Matthew will too. Do you know how many free agents are back with the Buccaneers this year because Tom Brady came back?
Oh.
2 offensive linemen signed. Chris Godwin got a 3-year extension staying with them. A couple defensive players stayed. John, Logan Ryan from the Giants went to the Bucs. Did you see that?
Yep.
John, you're going to love him, dude. That guy is a dog, and he is such a leader. Like, him and Brady running the offense and the defense, John, that's legit. Logan Ryan had a bad year last year. He's a little long in the tooth. Basically, he's played a little bit. He's been around for a while. But Brady's back. And the first question I think a lot of people had was why? And, everyone can make the jokes. And I'm sorry this is long-winded, guys, but everyone can make the jokes, his wife got sick of him, his kids suck. Like, ha, 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 Twitter, it's funny. But Brady sat there and looked at the NFC and said, holy shit, I just have to beat Rodgers and Stafford, and I can go to the Super Bowl again. And said, I'm coming out. And he went right back to the Bucs.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. I think Brady looked at the NFC and said, holy shit, I can get to the Super Bowl with this team. And I think, too, then I'll let you guys go. I truly believe in the 20 years Tom Brady has played football, he has never really taken a break. Every vacation he goes on, he brings a football, a playbook, and a phone to call his teammates. Every bye week, he has a football and a phone and a playbook. I think Brady actually took 40 days with no football in his life and realized, holy crap, I can't live like this. Like, I got to keep playing. You know, Brady has older kids. You guys remember when we were 13, we didn't want to hang out with Dad. We wanted to go downstairs, play video games, and hang out with our friends. I think Brady realized he's got to go back and play. I think it's awesome. John and Matt, go ahead. Why is he back? What's the opinion on why he's back out of retirement? John,
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I got 3 leading theories. None of which are particularly great ones.
They never are.
They're my 3 real ones. Number 1, similar to the point you were just making, and I don't know how much I believe this one, but it could very easily be the case. When you get a routine and someone comes in to change the routine, it's tough. And Giselle and the kids had a life for, I don't know how old his oldest kid is, 13, 15. They're in school. They have a routine. They get up, they do this, they do this, they do this, they go to sleep, they eat this, they do this. Tom Brady comes in. He's probably getting them all up at 4:30, saying, "Hey guys, let's go get some laps in," or "Hey guys, let's go make some TB12 smoothies." He's making them lunch. "Hey guys, yeah, you don't want to put peanut butter and bread on that. Here, I made you a smoothie," or whatever the hell the TB12 would be making him. Which personally I'm about, but a couple 13-year-old kids probably aren't. "Hey guys, let's get to sleep early tonight so we can get up and get some reps in tomorrow." The man's ethic on life of 20 years has been so disciplined. He probably went back to his family, gave it all to them. And they probably were like, "What the hell, Tom? Like, relax. This isn't football. It's just regular life. We don't need it to be this level of intensity." And I'm sure there was minor conflict in that. And maybe the conclusion was, you need to get all of this out of you before you are ready to come back. And, like, if you were ready to retire, you wouldn't be trying to do this right now. And so to the point you were making, Billy, maybe that is how that conversation went, where Giselle and the kids were just kind of like, "Listen,
it's not time.
We love you, but we don't want this schedule right now, and you clearly don't want to lose it, and this is the best move for you to go back." So, number 1. Not my favorite, but I could see it.
Most realistic,
like,
I think.
Do you remember when Dad got laid off and he'd be home, and when us and Mom, and then Dad, how different shit... I'm twice now. How different things were that? Like, it was really different. And annoying. And so, that's number 1. Number 2.
We love you, Dad.
This is because I love Tom Brady. Dude, the world blows right now. Who knows what's going to happen with the Ukraine? Gas prices here are $6.20.
Holy crap.
$6.20 a gallon. It's only going up everywhere else. People are saying COVID's coming back in a new variant. Like, the world is not in a good place. Like, you look back to, like, 2015, 2005, like, it was in a much better place. And how does the average American escape every Sunday for 14 weeks of the year? Football.
Tom Brady's a humanitarian.
Dude, as Tom Brady looks back at his life, he's a performer. Like, call him, he can be whatever you want, an athlete, a leader, that's all great. But he's a performer for the American people. And when he goes out and performs Sunday, a good chunk of the American people get to escape life, and they get to just watch it. And if his life has amounted to that goal, then maybe he looked in the mirror and said, "This is the time that many people really need this escape, and I get to give it to them. I am the performer who is performing at a level that people admire and love and like to watch, like myself." And I could easily see that saying, "Hey, Giselle, listen, I feel like it is my duty as a human at this moment in time for me to go do this for other people, not for me, for literally the entertainment and the escape of other people, to not be stuck in the harsh reality of life right now." I like that one a lot. Number 3, this is my least favorite. Billy, so they removed, like, all the teams have less cap space now, right? Like, they can't spend as much money.
More.
They have more.
185 million last year, and now they're at 208.
Where does that money come from?
Yep, so it depends on how the NFL does. So how much money each team makes in their stadium, selling merch, and then also the TV deals. So Fox, CBS, Amazon.
Was during the COVID season, at one point it went down.
Yes, so after 2020, every team made less money because the stadiums weren't open. So the cap went from 200 million to 180 million. about. So it was about a $20 million cap hit. This
That's a
year,
bit.
after people were able to go back after this year with the new TV deals that came in, it went up to $208 million, and it is projected to just keep going up now.
What's the most it's ever been? Do you know?
$208 million. This year
Right now?
Yep.
I'm so glad you just said all that. Well, I'll still say my theory, but now with that knowledge, I'm probably wrong. My thought was, with COVID, no fans in the stadiums a couple years ago, with all of the movies and articles and TV shows coming about how concussions are killing everybody, the NFL and football is like not seen as some great thing necessarily, and
Totally.
it
Has
was
its dark spots.
it's probably been losing money these last 5 years just from all of those like movies and all the COVID stuff. And it's like, you can Google this, you know, the number one jersey sold across the whole United States is
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. And now what percent of that money goes to the NFL? And if the man retires and the NFL isn't doing well and all of those jersey sales go because he's not playing, it's like, that's terrible for the NFL. And the NFL has given Brady, it's been like his path of life for 20 years. And maybe the NFL just said, hey, listen, Tom, we know you want to retire. We know you want to be with your family. But the fact is, you single-handedly give X amount of money to the NFL every year. You bring in this much, just you. The guy has more Super Bowls than I think the bottom 50% of NFL teams combined. And maybe the NFL gave him some offer he couldn't resist, some behind the scenes. None of us have seen it. Hey, listen, we'll give you 1% for the rest of the Brady family's existence if you come back and just play. Something, maybe that's too crazy, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a little out there.
Something so wild because he actually gives the NFL so much. And he's a stand-up guy. He's a great leader. And he's literally the quote-unquote American dream.
So,
and I think his symbol in the NFL is so important to them. Maybe they said, Tom, we really want you one more year.
So the first two, I agree with them. Matt, we'll let you go. Just quickly, the NFL has actually been making more money every year besides the COVID year.
That's why I asked you that at the beginning.
And then the other thing, too, is the NFL actually, at least if you're thinking of the commissioner, Roger Goodell, hates Brady. Because NFL teams want a different team in the Super Bowl every year. So they love that the Bengals were good. I think the NFL was pretty stoked Brady retired, and they're pretty bummed he's back. But I don't know. I just want to give Matthew a chance. But I like the theories, John. Those are good. I'm going to say theory one's the most realistic, that Brady and his family realized it wasn't time. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah. I'm personally a Theory 2 fan myself. But
Chat, let me know down below which theory is your favorite, 1, 2, or 3. Put it down
I definitely
in the
have
comments.
a much more tame theory. It was something I heard about online the other day. I am definitely going to get a lot of this wrong because
Go ahead.
All of us are, because none of us are soccer fans here. But Brady did just go to the.
He went to a soccer match.
He went to a soccer match, and it was the premiere of something. I think it was might have been the opening game or something, and he got to watch a guy named Ronaldo officially become the world soccer all-time male soccer goal. Or goal soccer, however you say that.
yeah.
And again, I said that terribly wrong, but I think just seeing that and being in that environment and watching him come in there and win, and I think he is a bit of an older player. I think he's 29. He's not the youngest. And see all that and just sit in the stadium. He just got that feeling, and he just went, I can do this. I think I agree with Billy. He looked at the quarterbacks and went, I can do this. What's the point of retiring now if I can do it? And just went, fuck it. Oh God, there's my one. But then he just kind of went, you know what? I'm just going to get in there and just do it.
I love it. I agree with that. I think, I mean, I can tell you from experience, when I go to a concert and I see people playing guitar on stage, being a guitar player, I'm like, oh man, I wish I was up there. And I think the only reason Brady retired is because he got so fed up with Arian, the Antonio Brown drama. I think there was a lot of things Brady wasn't happy about, and I think his decision to retire was a little premature.
Let's see what his dad came out and said. He said, though, Brady was very much thinking about it, but the media got so excited with it all, they just threw it out there before he knew. And that's what his dad came out and said. And they said the media pushed him so much into having an answer that he didn't actually know yet what he wanted.
Yeah, and I think, again, let's just do a raise your hands. Like, who here thinks Brady in the NFL makes the NFL better? Like, I just think it is just... When he retired, I remember, like, telling everyone, it's not going to hit me until that first Sunday and I don't see Tom Brady highlights watch the game. You know, it's like, that's going to be where it's going to be weird. I think the other thing to talk about, too... So first of all, anyone who says like Brady coming out of retirement, he's not going to play as well, that's not the reason. He only took 40 days off. Like, the guy didn't really retire.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. We'll know very quickly why he retired because we'll see how he's playing. And I have a bold claim, which I really, you know me, I don't like making this. I don't think Tom Brady and the Bucs are going to a Super Bowl next year because I don't think. Because I don't agree with you guys. I don't agree with you guys with the he's coming back because he sees how weak his division is. I think Brady actually likes the Patrick Mahomes, the Aaron Rodgers games. He better. I think.
No, totally.
And I don't think.
But
he's coming back because he wants to leave on a win. I don't think he's coming back because I think he's.
Everyone plays to win though. Everyone plays to win.
But I think we're gonna see a Tom Brady that is back for a reason that is not about getting to the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
So because of that, I don't think he's going to
go. Sorry.
Can I jump in?
Go ahead. I disagree with that
firmly. I think Tom Brady's just coming back for the sport. I do agree with you, John. I don't think it's necessarily that he looked at his division and then realized I can beat all these people. I think he just looked at.
I'm glad we get an argument. I'm glad we get an argument in here today. Keep going.
I think he get some coffee. I'm gonna keep these on though. I can hear you.
Yeah, keep going.
Cool. I think he just looked at his division and just realized that he's still competitive. Even in the NFL, he's just still competitive. He can still play against these people. I do think his end goal is to get a Super Bowl because that's everybody's goal when the NFL
So he's coming back to win. Okay, yes.
I think he's coming back for the sport. I think though, but there's no reason why when you come back you shouldn't have the Super Bowl as your goal.
Okay, all right. All right, I'm coming in hot here. I'm glad we got a disagreement here, all right?
Another happy landing.
Okay. The reason Brady retired initially was because he realized how hard it was going to be to win another Super Bowl. I am absolutely certain that was the reason he retired. The NFL, I don't care how much he enjoys the sport, it is a long, painful, tiring experience. An NFL season is one of the hardest things for any player to go through, especially a 44, 45-year-old quarterback. I know quarterback is a very protected position, but the reason Brady initially retired is because he's tired. Brady had a moment where he was like, oh my God, I can't win as much as I used to. This league is getting harder, and I want to spend time with my family, and I just don't think I can get over that hump. Brady always said he wouldn't retire until his body legitimately wouldn't let him play anymore. The reason anyone plays football, the first reason, there are always other reasons, but the first reason, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, Tom Brady, Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, the reason people play football is to win. Tom Brady is the best quarterback in history because he plays to win. That is always what a quarterback does, and everything under it is just icing on the cake. Brady came back into the NFL because he knew he was still competitive. He had a team that could compete, and he thinks he can win. Brady thinks he can win another Super Bowl. I'm not saying he can win another Super Bowl, and I'm not saying he doesn't do great things for the world, John. Like, I do agree Brady is an inspiration to so many people. I mean, look at you, John. Like, he is like one of your biggest inspirations in life. Like,
he's my actual hero. He's my actual living hero.
And that's awesome. But the first reason Brady plays to win, if you put Brady on a lie detector machine and they said, why do you play football? He'd say to win Super Bowls. That is Brady's only thing he cares about. Brady doesn't care about going to the Pro Bowl. Brady does not care about money. Brady does not care about inspiring people. He plays to win football games. Everything he has done in his career up to this point only proves that point. Brady doesn't care about getting the most money. He doesn't care about having the most endorsements. He doesn't care about being on the flashiest team. He just wants to keep winning. And that's why he inspires people. That's why he makes change in the world. But it's only because he wins. I don't know. I think Brady has a bunch of reasons for coming back, but the main reason is he thinks he can still win football games. That's just, sorry.
I agree, but
I do actually disagree with your take, but I like it.
I agree with it. I just think that's also part of the sport. I think Brady's coming back for the sport. Part of the sport's winning.
Yeah,
part of that sport's
part of the sport for Brady is winning.
I don't think if they go and then lose in the playoffs again and don't win a Super Bowl, Brady retires then again. I don't think it's I think
he does not play 2 more years.
At most like 2, and I would say
think he
2
plays
just
2.
Just soul's sake. Like he could just do 2. I feel like.
My boldest take on all this is I actually don't think Brady wants to be playing another year very much.
Oh my God, what are you talking about?
I know.
John, there's no.
I know. You guys, I've been thinking.
John, you're the Skip Bayless of this podcast.
I don't disagree. I just like Billy talking about.
I just for some reason think we're gonna see. Brady's a performer. That's what I started. That was the first thing I said when
he's
they started.
He's a winner. He's a winner, not a performer.
We will see the same Tom Brady. Like, we're not going to see a difference because Leonardo DiCaprio plays his role every time. I think we're going to see the Brady that is always been there. But
it's not. Brady's not acting like that. That's who Brady is. Brady is a winner.
I think Brady is back for a reason other than wanting to win a Super Bowl. That is my
wholeheartedly
and I don't know what it is yet. But don't
you think Brady could do more though to help the world than just play football if that was his main goal? I mean, the guy and his wife have like $1 billion together. Don't you think they could do more to help the world than just play football?
Didn't someone they do a lot more.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying they don't. But if that was his main reason, John, don't you think he would be doing more and more?
I believe that we all have a calling, and Brady's is football. I think Brady could do more, but it wouldn't make him happy. And
exactly. No, you are exactly right. Yeah. Brady's happiest when he's winning.
When he's playing.
When he's winning. When Brady loses, football. I will send you highlights of Tom Brady losing, screaming at his coaches, screaming at his teammates. Brady is only happy when he's winning. When Brady loses, he is rip shit about it. Brady loves winning, and he loves all the good it does for the world, but the first thing Brady wants to do is win. That's all he cares about. That is number one on his goal. He gave up his kids' childhood.
I'm about it.
Oh, good. Sorry. I'm cutting you off.
I'm about it. I don't think.
I love what you think of Tom Brady, but I just think there's too much evidence against it.
Just really quickly, didn't someone just break some record of his or something got broken of his? Did I misread something?
One thing. My other theory of
Matthew, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, nothing. Okay, good. I thought that might have been why he was come back.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's a little salty that they gave MVP to the poser quarterback of the NFL and not Brady. I could see that. Now that one I could see.
Poser quarterback of the NFL.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is not a poser.
As the years go on, I'm actually starting to love him more and more because of who he is. I think I always didn't like the guy so much, but now that he's becoming who I always thought he was, I'm starting to love him. He'll always lose every playoff game. He will not be vaccinated. Like, I love this one because it feels authentic. The one before, people talked about him like he was this god. I think that's what I didn't like. But I would love to go have dinner with Aaron Rodgers because the guy he is someone I do like. And now that he is that person, everyone knows it, I like him even more. He can have MVP every year, but MVP does not stand for most valuable player. Yeah. If MVP stands for most valuable player, he should never have won it.
But here's the thing,
he's
John.
not the most valuable player.
Then we'll go to the next. I'll give Matthew the final word. But the only point I'm going to make is Brady doesn't care about MVPs. All he cares about is winning the Super Bowl. That is all Brady wants to do. And I'm telling you, if you just look for the chat, for everyone listening, and John and Matthew, for you guys, look up how Brady treats his teammates and his coaches when he's not winning. Nothing makes Brady angrier. Him losing to the Rams in that playoff game.
The most hated football player in the league is.
Yeah, but you can't say.
Actually, it's not Tom Brady. A list came out. It's funny if you go look at the list. But he's in the top. He's in the top 20.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, Brady loves winning.
Those articles and who posts those videos?
The people, the ESPN and everyone else. But I'm just telling you, my final word is Brady wants to win. That's why he came back, because Brady's going to play winning football, and the day Brady doesn't feel like he can win a Super Bowl, he's not going to play. Go ahead, Matthew.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Or John. I'm done.
I do got to say, sorry, Matt. This is a question for Billy. Do you believe that the intention plus mechanism equals result equation is real?
To be honest with you, it's too philosophical for me to
Yeah,
make a definite answer. All I know is from the evidence I've seen is Tom Brady cares about winning, and that has effects in other places that I'm sure he's very appreciative of. And Brady builds on those things. He builds on being a leader. He builds on being an inspiration. He builds on being a team player. But it all comes from the root fact that he wants to win football games. And Brady knows the way you win football games is being a good leader, being a team player, being an inspiration. That is how you win football games. That's what Aaron Rodgers misses. Aaron Rodgers can be the most talented, but he doesn't want to win. He wants the money. He wants the fame. Brady doesn't want any of that. Brady only came back because he knows he can win, and he knows it has other effects, but he knows the only reason he does it is to win. That is what Brady lives for.
With you. To go back a minute, the equation is intentions 100%, mechanism is 0%, result is entirely your intention. And I believe that to be true. No one else has to. I believe it to be 100% fact. Aaron Rodgers' intention has never been to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
You're right.
No.
That's why he never has. That's why he never will. I believe every year Tom Brady has played football, his intention has been to win Super Bowls, which is why he has more than any other quarterback in the league. I believe, and this will be my final statement of all this, next year the Tom Brady we see will not be the one whose intention is to win a Super Bowl. And it will not be obvious. We are going to see him beat the Chiefs. We are going to see him beat every team in the league. They might go undefeated, but they will lose in the NFC Championship or that first playoff game or the Super Bowl itself, because I do not believe his intention next year is to win a Super Bowl.
I 100% disagree with that.
That is I think the core of our disagreement. And
Chad, let me know, is Brady care more about winning or alternate?
You're not, let me finish.
Sorry.
If the intention mechanism thing is true, and again, I do believe it is, then Billy, I can't speak words for you, but you then are saying Tom Brady will be in the Super Bowl next year. I know that's not true, but in my mind, by you saying and believing what you do, if you're right, Tom Brady will be in the Super Bowl, and if he is in the Super Bowl, then I will say, Billy, I was wrong.
I'll have you back on.
We will look back at this. Yep. And I'll say I was wrong. And I do not think he's going to be in it. And as the biggest Brady lover I've met in my life, that isn't something I'm happy to say. It is just my viewing belief of all this. And that is now me being finished.
Matt, you have 40 minutes. Go.
Yeah. I miss you guys. That was funny. No, it's so funny. I think I'm right in the middle with you guys. I don't think, just maybe like the way I like to think about it, it's not that specific. Even the wins and that environment, how Brady treats his team, and the losses in that environment, how Brady treats his team, and the playoffs and the Super Bowl, I just think Brady's not done with all of it. I just think he sat in that soccer field, was in that environment, and went, you know what? I'm not finished yet.
That does look
I
really sad, but I like it.
I think that means that he does intend to go and win a Super Bowl, and that is his goal, because that is the goal of every single NFL player when they start. Like, Aaron Rodgers' goal is to win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers just isn't that great a leader. I've never met the guy, so I'm not going to speak too much about him. I've seen interviews where he seems nice enough. I've seen interviews where he's the worst, but, like, anything can be faked online. I do believe he's trying to go win a Super Bowl. I don't know if he will, but I do think he's just not done with all of it. He just wants to be back in it.
All right, I love it. I love it.
Great
Chat.
conversation.
Yeah. Let me know what you guys think down below on Tom Brady. I think, with intention, it can be multiple things. So intention's made up of winning Super Bowls. If you're playing football, being a good teammate, making money, winning Super Bowls, I think it just depends what percent of the breakdown there is. But that leads into a nice topic here on the free agency craziness, because we get to see teams' intentions, players' intentions, and just how the NFL is working in general. I don't think, guys, it's an understatement to say this free agency period has been the craziest free agency I have ever seen in my life, especially with the quarterback, musical chairs that has been going on. Russell to the Broncos, Deshaun to the Browns. Where's Baker going? Brady coming back. Where's Jimmy G going? Who's going to be drafted? We've never seen something like this before. This free agency period, we can break it down into so many things, but I guess the first thing I really wanted to ask everyone was, what were your favorite moves? So out of all this free agency stuff, like, what do you think was like the oh my God, like this was genius. This was such a smart move by a team. I won't go first. I'll let Matthew go first. And if you don't have one, you don't have one. But just, going on Instagram and seeing Adam Schefter and the NFL post those images and, people making moves, people staying with the same team, people going to new teams, what do you guys think was like the best free agency move? Who made the best move?
I got two.
I love it.
I got two come to mind, and I think you guys are both going to like the two. The one that first comes to my mind that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, that when I heard, I was like, oh shit, was Von Miller to the Bills. I was
I like it.
That is a great pickup. The Bills have such a better chance now. I mean, fucking second one. Freaking Von Miller. Von Miller. That guy's awesome. And then the other one for me was Davante Adams to the Raiders, because Derek Carr is one of those quarterbacks who, when we were listing off all of the quarterbacks in that, underrated. When we were listing off all the quarterbacks in that division,
AFC West.
And then AFC West, and then we went, and Derek Carr. But Derek Carr's really good. And the fact that Derek Carr now has Davante Adams and someone to throw to, that's a really good sign for the Raiders. And I'm excited to see Derek Carr become a little bit bigger in this next season if him and Davante Adams be a good team.
And so two things on that. Do you know who the head coach of the Raiders is?
It's not the guy Gruden. He's got fired.
No, it's Josh McDaniels, the Patriots offensive coordinator from last year.
Is that McDaniels right now?
He's now the head coach. So think about the play caller for the Patriots now gets to pick calls for Davante Adams and Derek Carr.
But any Patriots player or who's on the staff that leaves is always scary. But at the same time, I can't help but get excited.
I love it. So the two things, Matthew, about those two signings that I didn't love. Von Miller's a 32-year-old outside linebacker, and he got a 6-year deal. He's going to be 38 when this deal is over. Now, there's voidable years, which means the Bills can get out of it. It's really a 2-year deal. But I do agree with you. That's a great move because I think the Bills are one great defensive player. If the Bills could have just gotten one more sack on Patrick Mahomes, they would have won a Super Bowl last year. I think that's a very, very fair point. And the thing about the Bills
is they would have beat the Cincinnati sleeping down.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
That would have been a great game.
That could be its own topic.
I'm just kidding.
I would love. Yeah. I really hope we get to see that matchup. But I think the Bills build football teams the way I like to build football teams. They built through the draft. I know you guys don't know who Gregory Rousseau is or who what's his name? I'm gonna forget it now. They have a defensive lineman who I love. That is so sad. I can't remember his name right now. But the Bills have built their defensive line through the draft, and now they have that final piece. And the thing about Von Miller, he's a lot like Tom Brady to me. He brings a certain mindset to a defense, a certain, dog mentality of hey, we're going to come in and we're going to fight. He's going to teach these young kids that are around your age, Matthew, how to ball out on the defense. And you have to remember, too, the Bills have some great players. They got Micah Hyde, who's a beast. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm just I'm freezing up and my Wi-Fi is kind of cracking.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
It's just you.
Cool. Okay, cool.
But I think the Von Miller move is amazing. The problem with the Davante Adams move, great team. Do you know how much they're paying him a year though? It's $28 million a year. That is the highest paid wide receiver. And I'm just going to say this. One of the things I've been looking forward to talking to you guys about is positional value. You know what two positions to me don't have a lot of value right now in the NFL? Running back and wide receiver. Running backs because their lifetime is so short, and wide receivers because every NFL draft, new badass wide receivers come out. Is it worth paying a guy $28 million, almost 3 or 4% of your cap on just one player? But he does put him over the hump. We can dig into it more. I love those two, though, Matthew. Those are definitely good ones. I definitely agree with the Von Miller move one.
Bill Belichick would love what you just said.
It's true, though. But go ahead, John.
I have 3, but depending on where Garoppolo goes, one of mine might change because I'm actually super stoked for him to leave the 49ers because I like Garoppolo. I think he could do really well with it.
He's a winner, dude. He's a winner. That's what the 49ers say about him. Yeah, make fun of his picks. The guy wins games, but go ahead.
Yep. There's 2. I have 2 that I love, but I'll just say the obvious one first. Tom Brady being back just makes me happy.
Yeah.
And everything I said before, by no means is any.
Yeah, you were hyped. You were hyped.
I'm hype as hell. I can't even help myself. I saw that, I almost started crying out of excitement. Just another year to watch the legend. But Russell Wilson to the Broncos.
Here we go.
Yeah, that was like my number 3. I just figured someone's gonna say
Oh
it.
boy, I
Might be
love it,
in a
dude.
Russ jersey next year. Man, dude, he's gonna turn this team around.
John,
The
John,
Broncos,
wait, I have to
I
pause you,
never
John. Did you hear his new catchphrase? It's no longer "Let's cook," it's "Let's ride."
Oh, that's
Like
so
ride
sick.
the
That's
Bronco.
fantastic.
Russell,
Let's ride.
what was brilliant about all this for Russell himself is as a quarterback, his
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, his value is about to be shown to the world.
He's an amazing player, dude.
Not
He's
to call Liv out, but Liv, being a rather new football watcher, doesn't get it.
She doesn't. I'm with you.
No, and a lot of people don't, but I know you do, and for some reason I do too. We're about to see the Russ that we know is there. The man who's going to bring every Bronco to his island, or not his island, but on a vacation to play football for 3 weeks in the offseason, to get a connection with his team, to build those relationships.
Leadership.
I've never seen the Broncos good. I didn't watch a lot of the Peyton era Broncos. I just don't. I only kind of remember it.
They were so
but
good.
I'm excited to watch them be good again. And I think maybe not next year, but the year after, we're gonna see a whole new organization. And if the Peyton brothers or the Manning brothers can go in and buy it with Russ leading it, we're about to see something dangerous. And I'm so hype.
So the thing about the Broncos, I did a topic on this last week. The only thing about the Broncos is, again, they leverage their future. They gave up a bunch of players, 3 players, and they gave up a bunch of draft picks. Are the Broncos, John, do they have a team that can win now with a good quarterback? That's the question.
No. My answer to that is really no. And I think Russ knows it. And but I don't think that Cincinnati did with Burrow either. And even though Cincinnati didn't have to give up so much to get Burrow, they were still able to get to a Super Bowl. I think there's a good
you
chance
can get lightning in a bottle.
The Broncos go to the playoffs next year. I don't think they win. There's just too many other great teams right now, especially in that division.
You guys remember, too, the
AFC.
Broncos have a new coach this year. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's tough, too.
Good. Yeah. It'll be tough. It's gonna be tough. I think they're gonna look a lot like the Chargers last year. If they do miss the playoffs, it'll be by 1 game. Is it about old Russ?
Yeah, it's about old Russ. Just because I played fantasy last year, and I had Melvin Gordon on my team, and he is one of the best running backs. I think there's a better team at the Broncos.
I don't think he's on the Broncos anymore.
They drop. Oh, they're fucked.
Let me check.
Oh God, there it is again. I'm sorry, man.
They're not. You see, you're a Russ sleeper too. This is what I
No,
mean.
no. I'm not a Russ sleeper. We just wait till we get to most improved teams and who I think might win. Trust me,
he's still with the Broncos. He's still with them.
Cool.
I think Russ to the Broncos is a Brady to the Tampa similarity.
I agree. I think they could go win a Super Bowl
I watched
because
a lot about this. In 2020, no one had Tampa in the playoffs until Brady went, and then boom.
The difference, though,
won.
that's such a great point. It's such a good point. But you have to remember, with the Bucs and the Rams, they had a coach that had been there for more than 3 years, and they had a team that was playoff competitive before the quarterback came.
There's more work to do than either of them, but I just
think so.
The man is a leader. Because Pete Carroll's a fool. Russ was hurt, and the Seahawks.
Broncos, not Seahawks. Broncos. I'll check. Broncos.
Yeah, I didn't think they did that bad.
They didn't do great.
It was petty.
They came in dead last in their division.
Yeah, but what's their division?
They came in dead last with the Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers.
Yeah, come on. That division's probably my favorite in the league right now in terms of quarterbacks.
And the other thing too, you got to remember about the
But that's why you need a guy like Russ to compete. The same reason the Browns wanted Deshaun Watson is why the Broncos wanted Russ. And I think the Broncos
and they're all in the
AFC,
dude. And they're all in the AFC. They're all in the AFC.
So
I love that one. I think my question.
My favorite. I'm gonna lose my mind just to watch those games. Even if they lose, I just am excited to see Russ. Because he has a new coach, they might give that power to Russ, the same way Arians did to Brady.
Let Russ cook. Let's
let
ride.
him cook. Russ is a beast.
I just want to make a quick comment on Russell. He's got the Brady and Rodgers talent with the Brady leadership. Russell's one of the best leaders in the NFL, dude. I've always loved Russell Wilson, dude.
I'm so hyped, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so hyped.
And Russ always...
I can't even tell you.
Russ has, again, very much like Brady and Arians, Russ has more of an Arians mindset. He doesn't want to run the ball, and he doesn't want to short pass. Russ wants to sling, dude. And the thing is, that is not what Pete Carroll and the Seahawks are about. They're about the Legion of Boom-esque defense with Marshawn Lynch running the ball. That is what the Seahawks are. And I still think, after the Seahawks threw that ball against the Patriots in that Super Bowl, they never recovered from it. Just like the Falcons, the Falcons never recovered from that Patriots loss. So I just couldn't agree with you more. And I am really happy for Russell. I think the reason that wasn't my favorite move... The reason that wasn't my favorite move was because I just don't know if the Broncos are a win-now team. And I think having to compete with the Chargers, Chiefs, and Raiders 6 times total next year, it's going to be tough. But, they asked Wilson how he felt about that, and he was like, bring it on. Like, I'm ready. Like, let's go.
Yeah, dude. Let's go. Got to train with the turtle shell so you can learn to train without it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he gets to
go play against the best.
So do you like that move better than Deshaun to Cleveland?
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite move in the offseason. That'll probably be my favorite move in the offseason. I love Russ, and now we get to watch him be himself and
I love that one recap. I just want to quickly go through a little list here and just...
Wait, I didn't get to say my second favorite.
Oh, go ahead.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, boo! That guy is not that good. He had his best years when AB was with him.
The Chiefs should be pissed. If I was a Chiefs fan, you look, it's like they are the best. And the fact they keep losing is so sad to them. Happy to the rest of us. To them, it hurts. And I think I think they can get Smith-Schuster cooking, dude. Oh boy, do I think Mahomes is gonna...
If anyone can get anything out of Smith with Smith-Schuster,
it's Andy Reid and the Chiefs.
Yeah, and Pat Mahomes. Yeah, that's true.
And what was I don't remember the exact terminology here. When you have depth, and now if any of their great guys get hurt, they get to put a great guy back in there.
And you got to think about it too. Tyreek Hill and Travis.
They're a team who eats on receivers.
Yeah, and you gotta think too. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce get most of the attention. Smith-Schuster had his best year when he was a number 2 wide receiver with Antonio Brown on the Steelers.
Yep.
He's not a number 1. He's not a number 1, but he's a very good number 2 receiver.
He's gonna be the Chris Godwin of the Chiefs, and you gotta have Chris Godwin if you're a Bucs fan. So
that's perfect because that's the best free agency move was signing Chris Godwin to a 3-year deal. That's the best move in free agency. Tom Brady and Chris Godwin is one of the coolest connections in the NFL. So that was going to be mine. I just want to transition, but that was my favorite move. That was my favorite move. The thing is, this is what I believe about free agency. Good teams in the NFL don't spend in free agency until the second week. Desperate teams spend in the first week. The Raiders got desperate because they saw Russell Wilson go to the Broncos. They saw Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson go to the Chargers.
Dude, I don't think the Raiders do well next year.
I just think that division is so tough that you spending $28 million on a wide receiver, it's going to come back and bite you. Look at what the Cowboys had to do with Amari Cooper, and look what the Cowboys have had to do this whole offseason. Because of Dak's contract, they've had to just unload him. Or they've had to unload players, excuse me. So I just don't think, I think the best free agent signings are the one that are on team-friendly deals with better players than what you're paying them. So, Devontae Adams is making every dollar he's worth, but the Raiders are going to become thin because of it. The Bucs signed Godwin to a great 3-year deal, and his connection with Brady is just one of the best in the NFL. So I personally... And he was hurt
last year, and I think he was pissed.
Yeah, so I personally think him coming back is a huge move. And then the other move I loved, did you see Randy Gregory, the defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys? He agreed to terms with the Cowboys. The Cowboys tweeted, "We re-signed Randy Gregory. And then I guess Randy Gregory's agent saw something in the contract that they didn't like, and he went and signed with the Broncos instead. And the Broncos tweeted, their real account tweeted under the Cowboys going, surprise! And Randy Gregory switched at the last second and is now a Denver Bronco.
No, you guys, the Broncos will be the most improved team next year. I know this hasn't come up yet, but there's no doubt in my mind we're going to see a different Denver Broncos.
Okay, I love it. So we all got our free agency moves that we like so far. I think the two, my favorite move, being a finance guy and understanding cap space and how teams work, is Chris Godwin. I think that's the best move money-wise and player-wise. The best moves splash-wise to really improve a team are the Bills with Von Miller and Russell Wilson with the Broncos. The Bills are one good defensive player away from being a Super Bowl team, and the Broncos believe they're one good quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team, and we get to see what those teams are doing is they're going all in. They're saying, this is our year, and we're going to see, only one team can win. So... But I do think, as a final note too, I think the Bucs and the Rams started a trend. Give up draft capital, give up the future for the now, and it'll pay dividends.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Matt, do you have anything else you wanted to add? I know you got up for a second.
Are we still in free agency, Chris?
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'm a bit more optimistic about Davante Adams with the Raiders.
They're just paying him a lot of money, so it's up now, but you watch. The Raiders next year will have to get rid of some guys because people become free agents and the Raiders won't have money.
It's the same thing as the Rams. The same thing the Rams did.
It's the same thing with the Cowboys. Look at the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They had to get rid of Amari Cooper. They had to get rid of 3 of their offensive linemen because of this.
Gallup, though, back.
Yeah.
But if the goal and the start of each season is just to win that Super Bowl and then figure it out
That's
from
the
after
thing.
that. I'm excited to see what Davante Adams and Derek Carr can do because he's just never had a player who he can really start balling to down there, and Derek Carr's a good quarterback. It's a good team.
Had some weapons, but yeah, nothing like Davante.
It might be, nothing like Davante. It might be one of those surprises that just come in, and it's making me want to lean more towards it because you guys are like, I don't really know. So now it's
all
like,
right.
oh shit,
I'm adding a new segment. Who's winning the AFC West? The 4 teams you get to choose from. We're doing this now. We're talking about the AFC West.
Chargers.
You boys take a minute and the Chargers signed Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, who was the cornerback for the Patriots last year. J.C. Jackson has the most interceptions in the past 3 years.
They're
Who
the
are the
Chargers.
4 teams?
You got the Chargers,
sorry,
the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Broncos.
I say
Chiefs.
Broncos.
The Chiefs.
Wow, John! I need to take a minute.
I know.
Wow, John.
Guys, I am coming into this podcast with authenticity, not with personal hope. I hope Brady wins the Super Bowl next year. I don't think he will.
All right.
I want the Broncos to win the West. I think the Chiefs will. I'm not
Continuity, baby. Continuity's a big thing, John. Continuity's a big thing. So,
dude, I think the Chiefs are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They are like, are we serious? 2 years in a row, we're getting beat out by teams we're better than.
Guess
Pat Mahomes is washed.
Guess how many years the Chiefs have won the NFC West in a row?
I don't want to know.
6.
You're exactly right, John. 6 years exactly.
Hey.
6 years they've beaten all those other teams and made it to the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes has only been playing for 5. The continuity on the Chiefs is ridiculous. And continuity, just like one of the intangibles with a quarterback is his leadership skills, one of the intangible things with an NFL team is their continuity. When a new coach comes in, you have to remember that is growing pain that teams have to go through. We might see the Broncos and the Raiders struggle the first 4 weeks of the NFL because they're getting to know each other. But either way, okay, so John's got the Chiefs. Matt, who are you going with to win the AFC West? I can tell you the 4 teams. Broncos.
Yeah, as much as I am putting a bunch of love in. Oh, you guys, I wasn't here for all of the Russell Wilson love. That man is insane.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
And I think he can do a lot. And I think there's going to be a bit of a Cinderella story getting told with the Broncos throughout those 4 teams. I have a lot of hope for Davante Adams and the Raiders, but I just think it's going to be a good season for them. The Chargers are the Chargers, and we'll screw it up somehow. And I'm so tired of Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, let's raise our hands to this. How many of you think Russell Wilson's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? Raise your hand. all three of us, Russell Wilson's top 5.
Yeah.
I would be as bold to say Russell Wilson is my third favorite quarterback in the NFL right
Not
now.
third favorite, best. I have favorite quarterbacks, best.
Yeah, I would be as bold to say Russell Wilson is the third best quarterback in the league right now.
Who are the two who are better than him?
Not fourth. Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Russ Wilson.
Josh Allen's better than Russell Wilson. Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the NFL.
I love it. Honestly, Josh Allen's probably my 6.
Where's Commander Carson? We are Commanders. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Josh Allen's probably my number 5.
Okay, all right. We'll
I think Josh Allen's gonna get there. I think he just I think to me is a human being.
The
and
only
he's
reason
growing.
Josh Allen didn't win last year was because he couldn't touch the ball. He lost because of a coin flip.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Trust me, I remember.
All right, let's get back on track a little bit here. Whew, man.
Who's gonna lose the NFC? Who's gonna lose?
Okay,
the
well,
NFC?
I got to pick my
Who's gonna
AFC winner, and I got to go with my thing with the Chiefs. Just quickly, is you remember how rough the Chiefs started last year? They had a rough start, dude. The only reason the Chiefs picked it up was because they got to play the Giants in Week 5. I know I'm a Giants fan, but the Chiefs got to kick the squad out of them and get back on track. But I think the team that's going to win the AFC West next year is the Chargers.
Fuck yeah! I said the F word. Sorry.
Billy, you said continuity.
Second year with the same
number
coach,
2.
and that defense has improved, man. You don't understand. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and then they got J.C. Jackson, the lead.
So you're forgetting the key factor with the Chargers, dude.
Herbert, my boy.
The boy.
I've never seen him, dude. Herbert is such a slinger, man. I'm telling you, the two best
Super Bowl pick last year.
The two best quarterbacks in the NFL are Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. Those are the two best quarterbacks.
I like it.
All right.
The Browns and the Chargers are cursed. Anytime there's anything you're betting with them, bet against them. That's just the way.
The Browns, you're 100% right. I would not put the Chargers in there.
No. The Chargers are cursed. Go watch some stuff about them.
You haven't watched enough Justin Herbert. They've
had good quarterbacks in the past. They keep looking good and then whenever that big moment comes, it doesn't work out.
I think maybe you're right. I think they're going to be a dynasty in our lifetime with Justin.
I hope. I like Justin Herbert, but just like if history repeats itself.
The man is next level.
He is. Guys, we've come to the hour, but I still got a couple topics. Are you guys good to keep going? I've been enjoying myself. It's crazy.
I want to go to most improved. I want to go to our next 2 topics. I'm excited for these.
You go ahead.
I really got to pee real quick. I got to use the bathroom super quick.
Okay, go ahead. This has been a wild episode. It feels like when I do a normal episode of this, it's so structured. This has just been all over the place. I feel like we have so much to say. I'm sure the one piece of advice people will give, because I get comments and family members watch, and a lot of people are like, I think a lot of people are going to say about this one, staying on track.
Probably.
There's just so much, and what's tough sometimes is for a lot of people who don't know much about the NFL, and then we start saying, oh, what about this, and then we go off on tangents. It's always all over the place.
Yeah, no, it is all over the place. I'm trying to think. I wish I could toss up the poor Chargers. Like, I really want Justin Herbert to win, but as I've watched a bunch of stuff of lately, the Chargers
I just think the Chargers have the continuity and the most improved team. Like, if I take adding free agents, I think the Chargers added a bunch of great pieces, and then if I take continuity, I think the Chargers the Chargers are in the second year with the head coach, so the system is going to be the same, which is huge. The problem with the Raiders and the Broncos is it's new systems. That's just, as a Giants fan who's seen new coach after new coach after new coach, like, continuity is important, man.
That's true. Who did the Chargers lose to at the end of last season that bumped them out of the playoffs? It was someone that was like, really?
Let's check.
Really? I know it was the Colts who lost to the Jaguars.
Oh, that's why Commander Carson's gone. Schedule.
It was the Raiders. They lost to the Raiders in overtime. Justin Herbert threw 6 fourth-down conversions in this final drive, and Matt, there's never been anything like it.
John, that's what I was saying. The Chargers are cursed.
Yeah, but they have
Herbert. They're just
a curse. It wasn't a curse, Matt. It wasn't a curse. The Raiders were balling out, and it took Sleeping Dog to stop the Raiders. They were balling out last year at the end.
Yeah,
Only Sleeping Dog had the power to put that dog down.
All right,
Only
we ready?
Only Sleeping Dog and his boy Jamar Chase. Let's go. Super Bowl next year. Run it back.
All right. Let's talk about Let's try to stay on track here. I'm not saying it's been bad. I love having guests. I want to make this a weekly thing. If you guys are enjoying this in the comments, let us know down below. Give us a like. Let us know. Just let us know if we're going off track. If you like us going off track, I'm always interested in the feedback. I'm sure me, John, and Matt will all listen to this back. We are going to do more of these. I very much enjoyed it. I hope John and Matthew have enjoyed it as much as me. We have two more. Pressure. We have two more topics. With the free agency and all this moving around and craziness, there's obviously going to be teams that improve a lot and then a lot of teams that regress a lot. And it's always fun to kind of take a shot in the dark before the NFL draft in April. So I wanted to give each of us a chance to first talk about the most improved team in the NFL. What team not is going to win the Super Bowl? What team is not going to do... Well, not what team is going to be the best, but what team is going to be the most improved after free agency moves. Yeah, so... I'll give John, maybe John, you can start with the most improved.
I'm happy to. I've been playing this podcast really safe, boys. I'm playing really safe. I've been saying what's logical.
I'm waiting for John to give some.
It comes. Are you ready for the most improved team next year? Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. No! For anyone who doesn't know who's listening, it's the Carolina Panthers. John thinks the Carolina Panthers next year.
Hear me out. Hear the boy out.
Tom Brady's back.
Yeah, but they were good last year. You said most improved.
I'm saying the Panthers have to play him twice. Most improved. What are the Panthers going from 2-12 to 3-11? Billy, what are they doing?
Billy, honestly, what was their record last year? Let's look it up.
Jesus.
Not good.
Yeah. What?
Watch.
Panthers record 2021.
I mean,
I
would
right
be
now.
so hyped. If
Panthers last year went 5-12.
So that means literally if they go 10-12, their improvement percentage.
Not 10-12, 10-7.
Yeah, 10-7. Their improvement percentage is like I think it's 200%.
That's 100%.
200%.
Oh yeah, 200%.
Additional. Yeah.
You think the Panthers are going 10-7 next year?
Billy, I'm telling you this. I do, because or better. Here's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Cam Newton
has
not had a team in the offseason that he got to practice with.
God, you love Cam Newton.
Start a regular season with. Since when? Who is he with right for the Patriots? Nobody. He wasn't drafted. He is literally these ridiculously stupid these ridiculously stupid coaches and GMs take Cam Newton and they say, in 2015 he was MVP. He can get us to the Super Bowl. No. You're an idiot for thinking that. Bill Belichick's an idiot for thinking that. I don't even know who. Matt something for the guy for the Panthers? Idiot.
Matt Rule. He's the
Give
coach.
the guy a freaking offseason. Let him get his continuity with the players. Let him build the relationships with those players. And let him play a whole season. It's been a long time. And other than the freaking Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that division is garbage. They can be number 2 in that division. And if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go perfect, they can easily still get a 10-7 record or something close to it. So the caveat here is if they keep Cam Newton. If they draft a new kid, then this whole thing I'm saying, forget it, trash it. They have to keep Cam Newton, and they have to keep him in all year next year.
And then they're the most improved team.
They will be the most improved team. They were
so no free agent moves, no nothing. It's just Cam.
I mean, they can have free agent moves, but
what
Cam
I'm saying
Newton
though
must
is
stay
like
as quarterback.
after like the past couple weeks, the most improved team is going to be the Panthers. Okay.
Yes.
Right. That is so bold.
I'm saying this. They keep Cam and they give him like some deal where he's not getting paid as much, but they say, hey, listen, we can keep you as a quarterback, but we're going to get you some serious offensive linemen. We're going to get you a few serious receivers, and we're going to get a new draft pick for a running back because Christian McCaffrey is a glass cannon who doesn't work with Cam Newton. Cam Newton can run already.
Him.
Yeah, they should trade him, get some money. They should give him another weapon. Yep. Or honestly, linemen. Honestly, if the freaking Panthers could get serious linemen, you could just have Cam Newton run all day long. When's the last time a football team did that with Cam Newton? You keep Cam and you give him the right team, there's no doubt in my mind the Panthers could be the most improved next year.
All right.
I'm up done.
Matt, who's the most improved team? If you tell me the Patriots, I'm going to ask you one player they signed.
Yeah, well, so that's my issue. Like, I'm most excited for, and I think they are going to be very improved, is the Patriots.
Mac Jones lost his offense. He lost his offensive coordinator.
Let me finish. I have no idea who the hell Mac Jones is throwing the ball to at the moment. and the offensive coordinator's gone.
It's
I guess
Joe
we have to see what
Judge.
happens.
Joe Judge is the offensive assistant.
Oh, they brought Joe Judge. That's
Good
cool.
luck. I'm telling you,
That's cool.
Patriots are going to be one of my most regressed teams. Go ahead though.
But I'm putting them as more improved. I trust in the Billy B system. I'm really excited for Mac Jones' second season and like continue going. I think the guy's kind of awesome. A dude just decided to start his car outside my window.
So the Patriots went 10-7 last year. What's going to be their record out of 17 games?
They went 10-7.
Like they were good last year. They made the playoffs.
I really low key was just not expecting this question. Yeah, they did do good. I loved watching the Patriots last season. Last season, I watched the Patriots more than I watched Tom Brady, and like I definitely became a football fan because of Tom Brady. But the Patriots were a blast to watch last season, just because it's fun to finally get out of that era they were in and see what they become and what happens. And especially that I'm like 3 months older than Mac Jones. We're basically the same age. It's kind of cool.
Pretty cool.
No, my actual answer is the Broncos.
Okay. All right. Okay. Broncos.
Yeah, I like the Patriots just as a fan, but like
100%.
Yeah, Broncos are a great team to pick. They went 7-10 last year. I could see them having 12 wins this year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that too. I honestly can just see a Super Bowl appearance from this, just from the Brady. I think the same thing happened to Kurt Warner. No, not Kurt Warner.
Yep, Kurt Warner.
Was it?
Yep, he went to the Rams, and then look at Stafford.
Yeah, and then
It's the
Stafford. Like
trend.
these things have just happened. And I can definitely see it happening with Russ because he's a quarterback who could do it.
Okay. Man, I'm going to start with most improved team. The Giants did go 4-13 last year, and I do believe they have done some sneaky good roster moves and bringing in the coach, the offensive coordinator from the Bills. We watched him call that game against the Chiefs last year. If anyone can get anything out of Daniel Jones, it is Brian Daboll. So I could see the Giants really improved, but the thing is...
I think that's a great one.
But the thing is, they don't have the money to get those big free agents yet, and I think they're going to need to build some continuity with some of their new players they're going to get in the draft. So I don't have the Giants. The team that I have is the most improved... Let me look. I have most regressed easily.
It's the Commanders, isn't it?
No, I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers. The Chargers went 9-8 last year and missed, but I think if they win their division, they got to go at least 12-5 or 13-4. And I just think that defense. I think the Chargers are gonna be the most improved team. I think the Chargers could go from 9 wins to 13 wins.
Betting against the curse.
I am. So I think I got the Chargers.
It's like saying Aaron Rodgers is gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now let's go to the most regressed teams, and I want to start this because I have 3 teams. I have 2. The two
I have
teams,
a good one too. I think you're gonna take one of mine though.
The team that's going to be the most regressed. Oh my god! I guess I do have 3. I'm going to go with my 3: the Green Bay Packers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Arizona Cardinals. And I think the Cardinals.
I agree with that.
I think the Cardinals are going to regress. The quarterback drama they have had, and the kind of person Kyler Murray is. What? I'm going to go off on Kyler Murray. He plays one of the worst games I've ever seen against the Rams in the playoffs. He was horrible. And then he scapegoats his team because he thinks the team is blaming him. He unfollows them and deletes all of his pictures like a silly 15-year-old douchebag. And then one of the intangibles with quarterbacks is leadership. The reason Russell Wilson is going to do well with the Broncos is the leadership he brings. I just think we're seeing a lot of Aaron Rodgers in Kyler Murray. I know it's a bold take, but I just think the Cardinals are going to go from like 11-6. I think they're going to go down to like 7 wins, 8 wins. I think the Rams are going to be better. I think the 49ers will be better. I just can't see the Cardinals being as good. They have good pieces, but Kyler and the dysfunction that's going to be caused in there, that's a big hump to overcome. And then the other team I have is the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are not going to win 12 games this year. When you pay a quarterback as much money as you paid Dak Prescott, and John got to experience firsthand last year what bad coaching does to a football team. I think
that's literally the reason they lost to the 49ers. I believe it was 49ers was literally bad coaching. They were supposed to win that game.
So, okay, my 2 are the Cardinals and the Cowboys. I think those 2 teams will both...
I love those 2.
I think those 2 teams will lose more games than they win because of the contracts they have to pay some of their guys and the leadership ability. Dak is an amazing football player and a better leader. Dak is a beast. Like, he's a great dude, but the problem is Dak is making so much money. They had to get rid of his best wide receiver. They lost their best defensive player. I don't know how they're going to fill those holes. And I don't believe in the coaching staff. So the Cowboys, I think, will be my most regressed, with the Cardinals right behind them. Go ahead, John.
Billy, I love the two you just said. I think the Cardinals and the Cowboys are brilliant, specifically the Cardinals more so than the Cowboys. But to add to the fun of all of this, the Browns, I think, will win 4 games next year.
Oh my God, John!
Yeah. I personally, you can't. A guy like Deshaun Watson, if I had a football team, I wouldn't touch him with a 20-foot pole. I think. His drama. I think he's a total mess. I think that's.
I don't
who
think.
else is in that division?
I think he's going to do the Odell. Look, when Odell went to the Rams, you didn't hear a peep out of him. You're not going to hear a peep.
Who else is in that division with the Browns?
You got the Ravens, the Steelers, and Sleeping Dog.
Yep. Every one of those teams will beat them. Who the Steelers just get as a new quarterback? Then they
Mitch
just got
Trubisky.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're, I think, a good team, and a guy like Mitch Trubisky is going to do well. And I think they'll beat the Browns every time they meet
Don't
next
you love
year.
that coach though for the Browns?
Oh yeah, he's the man. But he just ruined his career. I think he just ended it.
I'm gonna flip it on you. I think the Browns could be one of the most improved. Keep going.
They could. They're my most regrets, no doubt. How many? I don't remember how many games they won last year, but I think they'll win half that amount. I can tell you. But
remember, the Browns didn't have the Browns had a rough year last year. They only won 8 games. They missed the playoffs because Baker was hurt.
Yeah.
So you're telling me they're only gonna win 4
or less, 5 or less.
And it's because you think Deshaun's drama.
Yep, and I think not having Baker, and I think just the difficulty in the AFC. That's, I guess, the number one reason is the difficulty of the AFC in whole.
And you don't think the Browns are as a complete team? Okay.
If we wrote down every AFC team right now, they would be in the bottom 10%.
Bills, Patriots, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Titans, Colts. They're all.
I can't, dude. Maybe the Colts. I don't know who they beat. I don't know which of those teams you just said they beat.
Okay.
They're my most regrets, no doubt.
Love it, John. Bold. Good God, bold. The comments
my thing with the Browns
Go ahead, Matt.
is isn't every I guess my huge thing is when the season starts up again, where's COVID and what's COVID like? Because the Browns and the Ravens, I'm pretty sure every single week had nearly a bunch of players. I was gonna say I had no idea. A bunch of players on the COVID list, and that was a big issue for the Browns. The Browns can get their shit together and not do that, then maybe they have a chance. But I do kind of agree with John. Not in the Deshaun Watson case, but I just don't. For the Browns,
the division's just so good.
Yeah, the division's just so good. Yeah. And if you can just keep the Ravens quarterback, I keep blanking on his name, without if you just keep Lamar without getting hurt, which there's no way to. But if you can, then Baltimore can beat him pretty easily.
Lamar runs smart,
but no, my most regressive team is the Steelers.
I love that one. I was just looking, Matt. The Steelers.
Yeah. My most regressive is the second that question came up, went Steelers. Mitch Trubisky. The second I heard that, me and my friend Noah, I think we laughed for 20 minutes. We were like, "That's perfect."
You gotta remember,
it's so great for them.
Mitch did take the Bears to the playoffs one year.
No, Mitch is good.
And you have to remember, too, with the Steelers, Mike Tomlin might be top 3 best coaches in the NFL. Mike Tomlin, Matthew, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season.
Until this next one.
Until
Mitch. It's a good guess.
Yeah, I like it.
It's just a guess. It's just a guess. I can't see him doing that well. My other team I had on there was Green Bay.
Yep.
And then I was going to say the Commanders, but I don't think there's a lot to move forward from. I just think they're going to stay.
Yeah, Commanders had a rough year last year, 7-10. They had higher expectations. The Giants and the Commanders were supposed to be better last year. I think the thing
but at the same time, you can always hope Commander Carson comes through. And to me, that's just been the biggest joke of it all. The Mitch Trubisky and the Commander Carson thing just make me chuckle.
But you know what's funny?
You can see the Giants being the most improved next year, too.
It just depends on what Daniel Jones does.
See right now? Yeah.
If the Giants could, but the thing is they just don't have a lot of pieces. The thing the Giants don't have is depth because we're just paying for Dave Gettleman's overspending. But those are great. I think the final piece is just the NFL is going to be wild next year, and we'll do this again after the draft. And the reason, Carson Wentz and Mitch Trubisky, Matt, got so much love is because there's no quarterbacks to really take in this draft. Yeah. So you got to give these guys who have been backups and maybe not as great some love.
I mean, I'd be cool to see Mitch Trubisky do well. I don't wish the guy ill in his season. At the same time, I don't know. The second I saw him sign to the Steelers, I was just like, this doesn't seem right play for the Steelers.
I think the other thing with the Steelers though is when you have to go against Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. I think that's a tough. It's almost like the Raiders. It's a good team, but they are such a tough division that it's going to be interesting.
And then my next question was, didn't the Dolphins sign a QB?
Nope. They still have Tua.
They still have Tua? Okay, good. Because I think Tua is good, and I think they should
They got a new coach from the 49ers who Tua can do well under.
Okay, that's good. I forget why I heard that they were looking for a quarterback. But I think I did hear they're looking for one.
The final topic is Giants related. The Giants signed Tyrod Taylor to a 2-year deal. $17 million to be the backup. But you have to remember, if Daniel Jones doesn't work out this year, we have to release him. So Tyrod Taylor might be our starter next year while we get a replacement young kid.
When's Archie Manning showing up?
Oh my God, not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
But my question to you two is, Daniel Jones, what do you think his 2022 season is going to look like? Got to end on a Giants note here.
Yeah,
I want Daniel Jones and Cam Newton to be on the same football team.
What did John posted it? Oh, John's unavailable for some reason.
What?
Oh, watch on YouTube. I was just asking to watch on YouTube.
What is it? Oh, it's Cam.
It's just a Cam dude. No, I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of the Giants games, but everything I hear from you about Danny Dimes, and everything I hear about other people talk about Daniel Jones, I don't know. He just doesn't seem like the guy. Maybe he'll have more success on another team, just in a different environment. But like, from what I've seen, I don't even know. Maybe he's just not the answer for many teams.
John, what do you got for Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor? What's his future on the Giants?
I want to say what I want. I don't know if it's what I think, though. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think, then I'll tell you what I want. I think he competes for his job and loses badly and is gone next year, and he doesn't get drafted, and he's a memory.
Or he doesn't get picked up.
Yeah, doesn't get picked up.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then the Giants go with this new guy, and we just kind of talk about the days of Daniel Jones. That's what I think. What I want. Freaking Matt Rule to make a run-first quarterback football team with the Panthers and take him, because I think Cam Newton and Daniel Jones are a dangerous combination, and you have them run all the time with a sick-ass offensive line, and then you confuse the hell out of other defenses because they can both throw too, especially Daniel Jones. And you have a couple throws in there that are just... But
Danny can throw some dimes. He has that nickname for a reason.
Yes,
he throws some...
Yeah, and they are big boys, those two. Big boys. And you put some good defensive guys, you open some holes, they can do well. People just don't... I think Daniel Jones, honestly, is not being played correctly. Like, he's a card that you have to know how to play. If you play it wrong,
every
it's
quarterback,
worthless.
That's what it is, you know?
Yep.
Look at Josh Allen.
Exactly. The Bills play Josh Allen's card perfect, and the Giants don't play Daniel Jones' card
Joe
perfect.
Judge did.
And no, he didn't. And any team who can play the Cam Newton card right can play the Daniel Jones card right. I think that's why I always keep drawing back to that. Maybe that isn't the case, but I would love to see Daniel Jones go to a football team, dude. Maybe the Seahawks, a run-first team, because you can have him run right along with and put him in the mix, and then it'd be deadly. It'd be sick. That would be my hope.
My only thing is Jones is injury prone and he needs to learn how to run. Like Lamar is one of the best running quarterbacks, and Kyler too.
Put him with Cam
because they run out of bounds. But Cam is another guy who gets injured. Jones and Cam run like they're running backs, and they've paid the price for it. But
yeah,
I like the thought. I think with Tyrod Taylor, the first thing is just having a 2-year deal. The Giants are saying, hey, if we don't like Daniel Jones after this year, we don't need to keep him. That's the first thing they're saying. And then the second thing, I want the best for Jones. Like, my thing is, wouldn't it be great if we could spend all of our future draft picks on different players that are better? But I want Daniel Jones to work out, but my thing is he has the best offensive coordinator and coach he's had yet. So he's going to get everything he needs, and let's see what he can do. But I think we're going to go in a different direction. But
yeah, I can sadly see that. I don't know how I feel about the Cam Newton.
Yeah, me neither. But I love the
both of them run.
John, you started
a bit awkwardly.
John, you started so thoughtful. You started so thoughtful, John, and then once we started talking about like off topics, you just went.
Yeah.
No.
Love it.
John's takes are my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate that, you guys. Yeah. Well, you know what's great as I was thinking about this? We all come from this at such a different angle. Like,
Yeah,
Billy,
that's
you
true.
know the most about football. You know the most about how the cap space works, the draft, the coaching. Like, your overall knowledge is at least 3 times Matt and mine's combined. Matt, you come at it from an angle of, like, really looking at fantasy last year. And so you have all these, like, stats on these players, like the running back for the Broncos. I don't know who that is. I am literally only coming at this from the angle of who I'm seeing and who I, like, intangibly, there's no tangible evidence of any claims that I really make. There was in the beginning when I was just like betting on the odds correct, like in my opinion correctly, like the Chiefs winning the West. But I think the Chiefs winning the West is a downhill slope, and as Russ gets better with the Broncos, that's going to change completely. But I think it's going to take 2 or 3 years. But there's just something about a couple of like quarterbacks and players that just stand out to me that I just have to bet on. And Sherman Cam is one of them. I can't help myself. The man's just like overall presence on the field is just something dangerous. And when that card is played right,
Hopefully he comes back healthy and he's gotten some breaks. But go ahead, Matt.
he might not be back at all. I don't know if he'll even be in the NFL next year.
True. No, what I was just gonna say was like I mean I feel like it's what made this particular talking about all this NFL stuff interesting, because all of us do have this different angles. Like, I very much am sitting with a bunch of college friends who like know all this stuff, and I hear stuff in passing and like absorbing it and ask them questions. Like, we all have a very different way of getting into football, which it does just make these conversations a lot more interesting, because all of us have different takes on what we want to see and what we think could happen. Whereas everyone else is just listening to Stephen A., who I think we're all a little bit smarter than Stephen A.
Yeah, I'm not a big Stephen A. fan, but
Yeah, not me either.
we are coming to the hour-and-a-half mark, so maybe this is where we call it. But I want to thank both of you guys for coming on. I think this was a ton of fun, totally uncharted territory for all of us. Chat, let us know if you have disagreements or agreements. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't like. I think me, John, and Matt will all give this a listen to back at some point and maybe, have some new ideas. I hope to do something like this maybe once a month with you guys, where we can all get around and hang out and just, talk about, we have the draft coming up. We have the off season coming up. There's still going to be more free agency moves. It's only the first week. So we got a lot of things that can still happen. Where's Jimmy going to go? Where's Baker going to go? These are all things. So, I appreciate having you guys on, and chat. Feel free to, give us that thumbs up and subscribe and let us know what you think. And I don't know if John and Matt, you have any closing thoughts.
Let's go Patriots.
All right, everyone. Have a great one. We'll have another episode out tomorrow with another guest, and I will see you guys all soon. Peace.
Peace.